team from the Ministry of Human Services, not for this building alone, but for the extraordinary work they would have been doing over the last 5 years, especially in bringing a new, vibrant approach. I think we have major mic problem today. In bringing a new, vibrant approach to every aspect of the work of human services. You know, when Vindy was appointed as Minister of Human Services and Social Security, I told her, you don't know what is before you. I don't know if you remember that conversation, but I told her about the exciting initiatives that she can pursue to really bring the best out of the services that this ministry can offer to our people. And we have been able, through the Ministry of Human Services and of course through the government, to build partnership. To build partnership at the community level, at the regional level, with our international partners, and with people. And that is the most important thing. In all of this development, one of the enormous accomplishments is the way in which we're able to build partnership with people. Because all of these initiatives, people are the center of these initiatives. It's about making life easier. It's about making life more comfortable. And a few days ago, I was speaking about a poverty reduction strategy. And a poverty reduction strategy has many different areas of concentration. And one of that is access. Access to education, access to health services, access to community services, access to water, access to roads, access to facilities like these. Because these are what we call equalizing investment. So you may have a family, a young professional family, where one member of the family decide they have to stay home because they have children. And another family, young professional, who may afford to hire someone to take care of their children, and that family achieve their full potential, which leads to full economic empowerment, which leads to a larger growth, more disposable income. So it's an equalizing investment. And these are the things that some people don't see. They don't understand the depth and nature of these investments and how it is linked to poverty reduction, how it's linked to building equity in our society, and how it is linked in advancing and developing the quality of life that our citizens enjoy. But more importantly, this project especially is linked to some very key values of our government. So I want to say to all those who are involved, the ministry, the permanent secretary, the deputy permanent secretary, the management, the staff, the contractors, that you're part of something much larger. You're part of an ecosystem. And this ecosystem cannot work if all the other agencies of government and policies of government is not integrated in what we do. That is why the part-time job program was not only about providing jobs and adding disposable income. It is exactly what Vindy said. It has now led to us moving up the global ranking in terms of women participation in the workforce, women empowerment, and women being given the opportunity to live a better and higher quality life. We've all grown up in different homes, but under similar circumstances, where we see mothers struggle to achieve education, if they ever had the opportunity, where we see the dreams and aspirations of mothers being placed off the burner, not even on the back burner, because the system did not support those dreams and aspirations. Today, we have been able to invest in the system, so much so that the majority of opportunities today are taken up by women and mothers, and we should applaud that. When you look at the University of Guyana, overwhelmingly women graduate. And even now, when you look at the officers program, the cadet program, the police force, women are stepping up and taking leading role in our society, and stepping up not because they weren't before, stepping up because now we have made the investment to give them the opportunity, give them access, and they're showing us they are as good as anyone else. So it's very important for us to understand. I don't know if the people at the back are hearing me. I have a feeling they're not. Let me see. So, so we have the opportunity today to look at some very important aspects in the entire ecosystem of the government. The ecosystem that support everything that you do here for children and women especially. It's because we give cash grant, the newborn cash grant, education support at every level, free education for all, school construction and rehabilitation, the gold scholarship program, the school feeding program, more than $1.4 billion invested, textbooks and learning material, the child care protection service, the day and night care now, children with disability grant, the child protection and social services. Then we have, of course, the health care for children, the free eye care and spectacles, vaccination and nutrition, neonatal and pediatric health. Now we are building a specialty hospital for our children. In every single one of the new hospitals, there are special units specifically designed for our children to enhance the healthcare delivery for women. We have the infrastructure to support children, the building out of recreational parks, multi-purpose buildings, community facility, transportation grant, and importantly, having the legal protection to help our children. The extraordinary work the ministry is doing in combating trafficking, child protection, and not doing it in a loud way, but doing it how it should be done. Because these are very sensitive issues. These are not issues that you will see rolling across the headline or streaming at the bottom of a headline, because the nature of the issues and the way you have to handle these issues are sensitive. And one of the great accomplishments of this ministry is the way in which it has dealt with the sensitivity of many of these issues. Many persons who claim to have these issues at the center of their platform surely need some help in understanding these issues themselves and how you deal with these issues. You know, and then we have also the circumstances in our society, especially with the growth of social media and AI, how disruptive and destructive it can be and will be for families. And again, who are going to feel the blunt of this? Women. Women. And we have to have laws and systems in place to nip this in the bud, to ensure that as technology evolves and as we build a technologically advanced, digitally advanced country, that we are not adding new layers of problem, but that we are building in those systems the type of safeguards that would ensure our children, women, and the vulnerable continues to be protected in our country. So the legislative framework, the new legislations, the review of regulations, all of this are enormous work that the ministry and the government would have championed. The Restorative Justice Act of 2022, Combating Trafficking Act 2023, and the Family Violence Act of 2024 are major accomplishments. And they're not only accomplishments for us in Guyana, they're accomplishments for us in the region itself, because some of these are groundbreaking initiatives in the region. So today's initiative is about empowerment, giving parents who never had the opportunity to explore the professional possibility, adding to the disposable income, to have that empowerment to do that. It's about building equity in the system, giving everyone the type of support that is needed for the family to grow, for the community to grow, for your disposable income to grow. It's about development. It's not only about a facility for children. If you look at the facility itself, it's about an environment that is conducive for the development of the children. It's about their mental development. It's about their skills development. It's about their educational development. It's about their value development. That is what this facility represents. The holistic development of the child and the family. Because as Minister said, an important aspect of this work is also to recognize gaps that exist within the society and within the family itself, so that we can help those families to overcome some of those gaps also. So that we are building, through this facility, stronger children, stronger families, stronger community, and stronger country. That is how integrated it is. And we're building out the other sectors to be off-takers and supporters of the children as they go through the cycle of life, cycle of child development into teenager and moving on. So the system has to be connected. The system can't be disjointed. And the system must have a tracking mechanism, and that is what digitization and AI allows us to. It must have a tracking mechanism of following these children through their journey. So take, for example, the support in healthcare. We can now identify children who might be more at risk in their teenage or older age for diabetes or other condition, and start educating those children, educating their families, maybe helping them with lifestyle changes that would create healthier adults and a healthier population down the road. The same for education. We have, in the old system, they say slow learners and fast learners. There's nothing like that in my head. It's just that we need to find the best way of having everyone learning. And that is it. We have to create the ecosystem to ensure that everyone is in a learning environment. It's having that opportunity to learn continuously. This center, of course, is a center of empowerment, equity, development, but support. Because it will support the families, it creates a safety net for children, for families, for a community. It creates economic stability, because families now don't have to sacrifice the economic well-being of the family, or reduce the economic well-being of the family by staying home or having to care for the children. Yes, they will still have to care for the children, but of course, this facility is there to support them, to create that economic stability. Income protection. You know, we talk about all the women that are employed now. Many of them came through that part-time program, and we want to upskill them to work in facilities like these across our country. So income protection is also very important, because many families make decisions on health, on education, on family planning because of income protection. The bank, if there is a way in which you increase your disposable income, your loan risk is reduced, the interest rate comes down, home ownership becomes easier. So all of these things are integrated into this investment here. Income protection, health support. Now, these investments, as I said, are also linked to economic and social inclusion. And that is why I'm sure Minister Vindi is already working to have these facilities integrated with the temples, the mosques, the churches, and other facilities that support civic education, so that we will have a different quality of care here. Care that builds values, that builds morals, that builds ethics, and that is connected to your civic responsibilities and duties. So, social and economic inclusion is also a key feature of this facility. I want to now spend just a couple more minutes on the future. Where are we heading? So, one of the things that we're going to invest heavily in the next 5 years is an ecosystem to support the full economic empowerment and deployment of every individual in our country. Now, what does that mean exactly? That means investing in an ecosystem that would deploy every labor available in our country to enhance economic empowerment, to improve disposable income, and to reduce poverty. So let me speak specifically to this ministry. What are some of the things that we're going to do to enhance this? This care center is beautiful, but we have to build many care centers across the country as beautiful but less complex. So what we're going to do, because we want one of these centers in almost every NDC. When I say complex, it's not reduced service. It is about making more of the facilities available, because we want to reduce the time and costs for parents to bring their children here. We want to make it easier for the caregivers themselves, those who are working day and night. So we're going to work on building out facilities like these in every NDC. We're going to work on upskilling our part-time workers. And we already have a mechanism through which this will be linked. So it will be linked to police stations, fire service, mosques, temples, and I'm going to tell you how that link is going to be developed. Then we're going to support directly families, not only in terms of cash transfer and grants. We're going to empower families to own their own homes by giving you subsidies to build your homes, rehabilitate your homes, improve your homes, because we want your home to work for you. What do I mean? We want, and this is where financial literacy will be part of family planning. So the ministry task is going to be widened in relation to the rest of the economy, because an important part of family planning will be financial literacy. How do you do a budget for your family? How do you manage that budget? How do you grow that budget? How do you add revenue to that budget? And we want to help families to deploy their assets. So the concept of refinancing is not a concept that we utilize here a lot in Guyana, because we love to pay off our loan and be debt-free for the rest of our life. But that is not leveraging our full potential. Leveraging our full potential is how we utilize the value created by the government and then use that value to create more wealth, new wealth, more disposable income for your families. So financial literacy, family support, income support, social support, because when we make education completely free of cost, health services completely free of cost, recreational facilities completely free of cost, community facility completely free of cost, make it easier for you to transport your children, reducing taxes, increasing disposable income, giving transportation grant, all of these things add to that ecosystem that support the family. So tax incentive, building out of the infrastructure so that every single family can benefit from treated water. So you can turn on your tap, you can drink your water, you save money. You save money from buying water. You save money from buying water. Unless you still want to buy water when you go out on the road, but you can pull your, today if you go to the most complex cities, you will see everybody walking with what they call that cup, the Stanley Cup, the Stanley Cup. And because they have made drinking water fashionable. That's all they did. They have made drinking water fashionable. Now people only drink water because it comes in a Stanley Cup. That's it. But listen, we have to do these things. Every time we invest in giving you treated water, every time we invest in giving you a better road, giving you better drainage, reduce the risk of malaria, reduce the risk of typhoid, reduce the risk of dengue, all of those investments help in family development. And that is why investing in infrastructure is so critically connected to the improvement and empowerment of families. And then, of course, we have the social and civic support. We'll directly be supporting the religious groups, bodies and organizations and community groups to participate in the development of their community, to participate in the membership of their organization, to participate in the development of children and women, to build a generation that is deeply rooted in a civic responsibility with a sense of value of what makes us Guyanese. And that is what this investment will do to support. Investing to create safe spaces, family-oriented spaces. You will see in all of the parks that we're building. And we have to change the culture. And sometimes you have to take harsh decisions to change the culture. We're now putting cameras and we're putting big screen so that everybody can see what everyone is doing. We are putting police outposts in the parks themselves. We are now moving from police station operation to police outpost operation. So all of these communities that are deep, you will see outposts, police outposts with the assets. So we're taking security to the people. Having CCTV camera, everything connected, everyone connected. Because a strong, stable, secure society is also important for family health and family development. The transportation support, ensuring that we help through direct grant support and also investing in public transportation so our pensioners and children especially can have safe transportation, can be helped in terms of transport expenditure. Economic empowerment, health support, education, you will see continued expansion in these areas. Upskilling our part-time workers to function in these facilities across all the NDC. And of course, in these facilities, we want our children to have early exposure to technology and robotics. Early exposure to technology and robotics. So gaming will be used in a different way as a learning tool, as a teaching tool for our children. That is what we want. We don't only want you to have a facility, we want you to have exposure in this facility that any other child may have so that you grow with the strength to meet the challenges, overcome the challenges, but of course to succeed. So I don't want to keep you much longer in enjoying this facility, but I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting the ministry. To those who live within this NDC and live within this area, this is an extraordinary moment for you. I'm very happy that I see so many women here, mostly I guess mothers. This is fantastic. I congratulate the few men I'm seeing for their support, but I want to say that today belongs to the people of Guyana because this is really the seed that now will blossom throughout our country. God bless all of you. Thank you very much for having me. And to the staff who will manage this facility, please make sure you and the community take good care of it. You see this as your own home, and let us continue to build from strength to strength. Thank you.
For those very, very kind words of introduction. Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, a man who has committed to leading this country, and he has in his own style with flair and panache. And I'm very, very pleased that you're here this morning. I told you I wanted you to be here. And I know you have, I've seen you like everywhere. I know you have a lot going on, but I'm truly grateful that you're here for something that I think will be transformational, not only for Region 3, but when it mushrooms across the country. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Permanent Secretary, Deputy Permanent Secretary, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Director of the Child Care and Protection Agency, the Executive Head of the Early Childhood Development Program, the members of our stakeholders and partners who are here from IDB, Global Affairs Canada, UNICEF, University of Guyana, and so many others, Nations University, those who would have been working with us around the clock, and all of the 5 years that we've been here with you. And to you, distinguished brothers and sisters who are here from near and far, and to our beautiful children, members of the media, and last but not least, the dedicated and amazing team from the Ministry of Human Services, especially the Child Care and Protection Agency and the Early Childhood Development unit. Good morning. I think it's still morning. Good day. But we are here for something that has been a labor of love for all those involved. It has taken considerable patience, effort, creativity, innovation, and night and day moments when we have worked beyond the call of duty to get it to where it is now, for the benefit not only of children, but of families, and families that are the building blocks of communities, and communities that make up this great nation of ours. This facility, the Early Childhood Development Center, partnering with Day and Night Care, is the first hybrid model that has been conceptualized. And it has really been conceptualized looking at our expanding economy, looking at our growing needs, and looking at how we can holistically and comprehensively work towards the benefit of our youngest and most valuable treasures in our country, and by extension, their parents and families. It blends the kinds of concept that globally we are working on as a world to ensure that every child is safe and cared for. When we speak of day and night care, what is being melded there would be the dreams and needs of parents in our country, recognizing that our government very early, through its manifesto, would have committed to the care and development of children, the empowerment of women, and the quality of life of families in our country. And so, day and night care speaks to where we are as a country when we would have looked at the Global Gender Index and seen Guyana climb 18 spaces upwards in just 1 year, because women are now more in the labor force in our country. With that recognition and successive budgets, where work ethic is something emphasized by our government, women being in the formal economy, but not just being in the formal economy, women having the opportunity to be trained, to be emboldened to go beyond their first imaginations, all the way to the highest level that they can be. This was birthed from that. Understanding that when parents go out into the world of work, they want the assurance and guarantee that their children are absolutely safe. Their children are in a secure environment where in their minds they can focus on developing our country. In addition to that, I remember a few years ago, a woman from the East Bank of Demerara lost her children to a fire, lost 3 of her children to the fire. I went to the wake and I went to the funeral, and I watched that mother cry. She went out to work and the children were left unattended. And that cemented in my mind why we needed night care. And then going to an ECLAC meeting, I was asked to say something on what Guyana will do. And I had just come out of that event. And I started to speak about how we have day and night care, and we incorporate early childhood development. They say, can we have the paper? But I didn't tell them, I didn't write the paper. It was just in my mind that this was something that we must have because of our government's commitment to this nation. And we do not just take commitment lightly. We deliver on every commitment, and this is a delivery of a commitment to this nation. What does early childhood do, and why is it necessary to blend this? 1, we are working with caregivers who are trained. We have not waited for the building to be completed to train caregivers. We have started that process through the Women's Innovation Investment Network, started in 2021, and everybody knows it as the WIN program, WIN. And we have seen women go out there and demonstrate their capability and their desire to work in different arenas that many times they were not part of. And that is where the UK City and Guilds program came into being, and we put women in non-traditional environments by training women across this country in plumbing, welding, carpentry, electrical installation, and I must thank Nations for being a willing partner. We come up with these things and we run. And so early childhood development speaks to a profession of early childhood development practitioners. I want you to remember that, because it is not only empowering and training, it is the launch of the first national integrated early childhood development policy with its guidelines, which we did not so long ago, and we did in conjunction with UNICEF. Thank you very much. And we were able to use that policy and its guidelines and programs even before this was open, to know that that will pilot this program. But it didn't stop there. We are working over time to add on to the WIN program. And so after 2 levels of training of women in childcare, we added early childhood development. I want to tell you something. And this government believes in education. You see when the president speaks, he tells you free university education, gold scholarship, BIT program, WIN, because this is born out of a deep-rooted passion to not just give, but to empower. And so, with that commitment, we were able to train a number of women, not in one region, in every region. And so, even though this is the first, we still have one more to come. And for the first time in Guyana's history, $334 million would have been spent on early childhood development. This building, $93.8 million. The next building that will be open, $94 million. And $139 million plus dollars towards early childhood development education. That is the level of what we believe in when we speak of early childhood. So the policy, the training, the building, and I haven't really gotten to the building as yet, but to tell you too, that we felt that it required much more than the policy, the program, and the buildings. But we wanted to not only look at what we were doing, but to work with women around the country to develop them to have centers of excellence, to develop every daycare center in this country to be a safe space. And the team from the Early Childhood Development Unit, headed by Ms. Conchita Gray, they have worked with all of these centers, and we are now able to say we're going to have 10 centers of excellence across Guyana that will start the trend of every center being one of excellence, with the investment by Government of Guyana through the Ministry of Human Services of $200,000 to each person who is moving their facility to a center of excellence. So it's not only state, it's where we want to go in communities. It's building consortiums, bringing women together in these consortiums where we empower them to start their own home-based care programs modeled off of this, and we have a policy already. Thank you to Ms. Gavaya and her team. So these things are not just things we put here. There's a lot of thought and very comprehensive and structured approaches that get us there. So when we looked at the Early Childhood Day and Night Care Center, of course we have a formal education system, but there is that gap that would have existed from 0 to 3 years, 9 months before they get into school, where we wanted to have the opportunity to look at children, their needs, their growth, their developmental milestones, their mental health, their emotional ability, every aspect of a child. And so using the early childhood policy, education, and the knowledge we had, we want to make sure that when children come here and they're placed here, as a government, we are comprehensively looking at that child. And not only looking at that child, looking at their parents and the caregiving system. So here we'll also have parenting classes. So when parents come here for their children, it's not drop and pick up. We are working with parents. We already have a parenting program, a parenting manual, and a parenting workbook. This program has been offered across communities, and it will be amplified and intensified in this facility and every other facility. We understand that families are the bedrock of the nation, and if we really want to develop social transformation, we must work too on developing the psychology and the psyche of the families, to understand what it is to bond with children, to understand what it is to care for children, and because we believe in inclusivity and accessibility, children with multiple needs, including children with special needs. That will be level 4 that is coming up under the child care program, and I say again, absolutely free. And the word free continues because all the services offered here, absolutely free. Not a cent will be charged for that. So, we are looking at several things as a government. Employment, people are going to be employed here. We talk about providing employment, not just employment. People are trained and will be employed in their capacities. We talk about the care economy and how we're contributing to that. We talk about safety and security of children. We're talking about parents, and we're talking about health, well-being, education, all of that wrapped up in the early childhood development module, as well as the day and night care center. So it's flexible care for parents, and it's looking at care that is purposeful, tangible, and care that takes into account the growing needs of the world. The needs are changing. Children require much more. And we are able to recognize learning disabilities like dyslexia. We are able to recognize organic mental health issues. And the thing about our government is not just this ministry or partnerships that will be fostered with other ministries and agencies. Ministry of Health will be part of this. Screening and diagnosis. Ministry of Education will be part of this, ensuring that we have the diagnosis through their diagnostic center. So what we're developing is a referral pathway as well. So today it is with a lot of pride and a lot of heart that we have invited you here. You will follow us for a tour. I hope you are as excited as I am and as I feel. And I hope that this center will be cared. You will take care of it because it is brand new and it looks great. But we need to care our facilities too. It is not only the cost, but it's what we'll do for your region. And you are trailblazing Region 3 because this is the first one in the country. So this is something for the people of Region 3. Following this will be Region 4. And if I have my wish list, I would like to see more of these in other parts of the country. Finally, I want to just say to all of you, thank you for being here to celebrate something so significant, so transformational, so tangible, and something that will impact on the youngest minds in our country so that we will mold them to be the best possible contributors to our country at every stage of their life, ensuring that their holistic development and future is at the top of our list. Because one of our priorities as a government has always been our children. And so we continue to do this, and I close by saying to all the members of staff who worked above and beyond, and to everyone who would have supported this project in so many ways, engineers, contractors, cleaning the building, everything, the region, that everybody who would have come on board to get this ready, my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to you. And I look forward for this place to become a place that is magical, with the laughter of children, the voices of the little ones, the love of the caregivers, and the unity of our people to ensure that we continue to lift our children in this beautiful land of ours. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.